Hi 10th. As you know, we discussed up to example 3 from application of trigonometry, and serious discussion is going on. Through this video I'm going to solve few more examples. This chapter is filled with 7 examples plus much exercise question. In order to understand that exercise question, you have to learn this example well. Why? Because each example is each concept. Once I told you that this chapter is filled with standard questions. If a student can able to solve all these question in text, it means he or she can able to solve any type of questions. Okay, so that means these questions are much standard enough. Okay, and so just try to practice this kind of questions well, and when you practice, try to practice twice, and please do not by heart any problem. Please don't do that. In your board exam, by hearting system will not work. I promise that if you are going to by heart any problem, that will not work. Please don't do that. Try to understand the concept enough. Okay, so let me solve example 4 right now. Okay, and now example 4 is, from a point P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10-meter tall building is 30 degree. What is the point? From a point, this is very important question. Okay, so up to example 3 the question were very simple, but this example 4 is a little bit standard when we compare to example 3. Okay, example 4, from a point P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10-meter tall building is 30 degree. What is the meaning of the first line? From a point P on the ground, that means, let me draw a ground. This is your ground. Okay, any problem? No, this is your ground, and try to select a point P on the ground. You may understood. So it's ground and P is a point on the ground. Any problem? No. And read the next line. P on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a 10-meter building is 30 degrees. So there is a building. Let me draw that building. Its height is given as 10 meter. So this is your building. Its height is given as 10 meter. And from the point P, the angle of elevation of the top of the building is given as 30 degrees. That means someone is seeing the top of the building. So it should be his line of sight. And see that observer's height is not mentioned here. So that may be because when we compare to the height of the building, his height is very less. That's why they didn't consider the height of the observer. They have mentioned it as a point P. But they given us angle of elevation from the point P to the top of the building. So angle of elevation means in this way, isn't it? Okay. So angle of elevation from the point P to the top of the building. So this is the top of the building. So when in order to mark angle of elevation, we have to draw the line of sight, and this is going to be the line of sight towards the top of the building. And if you consider the observer as a point P, you can consider the ground itself as the horizontal level of sight. I told you once, and this is going to be his line of sight. Angle between that is nothing but angle of elevation, that is given as what? 30 degree. You may understood. Okay. So once again, 10-meter tall building, a point P is there, and from the point P, someone is seeing the top of the building. So this is going to be the line of sight. So angle of elevation is found to be 30 degree. Angle of elevation is nothing but the angle between horizontal level and line of sight. So that is going to be 30 degree. Okay. A flag is hoisted at the top of the building. A flag is hoisted at the top of the building. That means in the top of the building, on the top of the building, what is hoisted? A flag is placed. See, this is a flag. Let me draw with some other color. Okay, for better understanding. So on the top of the building, a flag is there. Okay, any problem? No. Okay, so a flag is there. Okay, then read the next line. A flag is placed at the top of the building, and the angle of elevation of the top of the flag from the same point P is 45 degree. That means, first of all, the observer at P have seen the top of the building. Finished. Then what he is going to see? Now he is going to see the top of the flag which is placed on the tower, and this is the flag placed on the building, and the same observer from the same point P is going to see the top of the flag. That means at that time this is going to be his line of sight now, and its angle of elevation is given, which is that 45 degree. Which angle he used to see the top of the flag, that is given as 45 degree. So how you can mark angle of elevation? Again, angle of elevation is the angle between the horizontal level and line of sight, and this is going to be his line of sight, and this is the same line is going to be his horizontal level, and at this time this is going to be, that means angle between the line of sight and the horizontal level, this is that angle is going to be the angle of elevation at that time, that is given as 45 degree. If you have any problem, if you have any doubt, you just call me and clarify your doubts. Okay, once again let me explain. This is a building, its height is given as 10 meter. What is going to happen? An observer from the point P, his height is not given, so let it be a point P. A P is there on the ground, such that from P someone is seeing the top of the tower. So this is going to be the line of sight at that time. Its angle of elevation is given, that I marked as what? 30 degree. See, this is 30 degree. Okay, then, and what is going to happen next? A flag is placed on the top of the building. This is the flag, and from the same point P someone is seeing the top of the flag in this. So this is going to be his line of sight at that time. When someone is seeing the top of the flag, this is going to be the line of sight from the same point P. It is also given in the question. That angle of elevation is given as 45 degree. At that time, the angle of elevation should be angle between the line of sight and horizontal level. That is going to be 45 degree. Okay, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലായെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. 10 മീറ്റർ ഉയരമുള്ളൊരു ബിൽഡിംഗ്, ഒരു പോയിന്റ് ഉണ്ട് പി ഗ്രൗണ്ടിൽ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ആദ്യം ഫ്ലാഗിൻ്റെ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിലോട്ട് ഒരാൾ നോക്കുന്നു, അതാണ് ലൈൻ ഓഫ് സൈറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ആംഗിൾ ഓഫ് എലിവേഷൻ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് 30 ഡിഗ്രി. പിന്നെ ആ പോയിന്റ് പിയിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിലോട്ടാണ് ആദ്യം നോക്കിയത് 30 ഡിഗ്രി. ഇനി ആ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ ഒരു ഫ്ലാഗ് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതിൻ്റെ മുകളിലോട്ട് വീണ്ടും അയാൾ തന്നെ അതേ പോയിന്റിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ നോക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഇതായിരിക്കും അയാളുടെ ലൈൻ ഓഫ് സൈറ്റ്. ആ ആംഗിൾ ഓഫ് എലിവേഷൻ ആണ് ഗിവൺ ആസ് 45 ഡിഗ്രി. സോ ബട്ട് ദ പോയിന്റ് ഈസ്, ദ തിങ് ഈസ്, ദ ആംഗിൾ ഓഫ് എലിവേഷൻ ഷുഡ് ബി ദ angle between the line of sight and horizontal level. So this is the line of sight at that time, and this is the horizontal level you have to answer, and this is going to be the angle of elevation. You may understood. Okay, and here the question is, find the length of the flag staff. What do you mean by length of the flag staff? Is nothing but length of the flag. That means this is going to be the length of the flag. You have to calculate that. What? This is going to be the length of the staff, length of the flag staff. We have to calculate that, and distance of the building from the point P. That means this is the distance of the building. This is the distance of the building from the point P. No, from the point P, this is going to be the distance between P and the building. So we need this length, and we need this length. Okay. So what all the things here it is given? Here the length of the height of the building is given as what? 10 meter. Height of the building is only given as 10 meter, and angle of elevation also given. So let me write it as PQRS, and you have to write in words what all the things you have to write. In sentence you must write at the beginning. What? Here QR represents the height of the building, and RS represents the flag, and PQ represents the distance between P and the building. So what all the things we need? We need RS and PQ. All the things you have to write. So we need to calculate what? We need to calculate RS and PQ. I told you have to write in sentences. I said a few things. All the things you have to write. What this represents, what this represents, what this represents. All those things you have to write. And after that you can write, we need to calculate RS and PQ. Okay. Because RS represents the length of the flag staff, and PQ represents the distance between that point P and the building. Okay. So first of all, in order to calculate this, we need to select right triangle. In the previous question, there was only one right triangle, but here in this question, how many right triangles you can identify? See, this is the first right triangle, no? Which is that PQR. See, PQR is going to be the first triangle you can consider, and which is the second right triangle you can consider. Two right triangles are there. You know why? See, you can see that. See, this is going to be the first right triangle, which is the name of that PQR. And next right triangle is PQS. This big right triangle, you can consider this as a big right triangle. So which is the first right triangle? PQR. Which is the second right triangle? PQS. This is going to be the biggest right triangle in this figure, and this is going to be the another right triangle, smaller right triangle. So how many right triangles are there? Two right triangles are there. So what you have to do is, if there exist two right triangles, consider two right triangles separately and apply the ratio, apply the suitable ratio. That is a method. Only one difference: if two right triangles came, consider two right triangles separately and just apply the ratio, the suitable ratio. Okay, that is only one difference, because if you are going to select only one right triangle, you will not get the answer for the both questions. How many questions came here? Two questions. We need two answers, so we must calculate both right triangles. Okay, that is a clue I can give you. Okay, so let me start from the smaller right triangle. So consider right triangle PQR. Consider right triangle PQR. Consider right triangle PQR. So consider this right triangle. Which is the right triangle I am going to consider now? I am going to consider PQR right triangle. That means PQR. See, this is going to be your right triangle. This is going to be your right triangle. In that right triangle, which is the angle given? 45 degree or 30 degree? 30 degree is the angle given in that right triangle. Why? Because 45 degree is not in right triangle PQR. See, this is your triangle you have to consider. You may understood. And 30 degree is there in that right triangle, but 45 degree is not there in that right triangle. 45 degree is in which right triangle? PQS. You may understood from the figure. Okay, so consider right triangle PQR. Okay, and this is the angle given 30 degree. According to 30 degree, what is given? Opposite side is given. What is that? 10 meter. According to 30 degree, opposite side is given as what? 10 meter. And we need PQ. See, we need PQ. According to 30 degree, opposite side is given as 10 meter and we need PQ. And PQ is nothing but the adjacent of 30. So which is the ratio connecting between opposite and adjacent? Of course, tan. I told you, most of the problem it should be tan. So tan 30 is equal to what? Opposite side, that is nothing but RQ by adjacent side, PQ. What is the value of tan 30? Apply that. I think it is 1 by root 3. So tan that is nothing but 1 by root 3. So substitute that 1 by root 3 here. And right side is RQ by PQ. And what is the value of RQ from the figure? It is very clear that RQ is nothing but the height of the building, that is given as 10. And PQ we don't know. But still only one unknown is there. We can easily calculate, cross multiply. 1 into PQ is equal to PQ. 10 into root 3 is equal to 10 root 3. Okay, so PQ is equal to root 3 value is given there 1.732. So we are supposed to substitute that. So 10 into 1.732. So PQ will be, how you can multiply a decimal number with the 10? Just mark this decimal point to 1. See, you have to, how to multiply decimal number with the 10. You know that, isn't it? How many zeros are there? 1 0. So we have to mark a decimal point in such a way that 1 position to the right side. Now the point is here. So take this point to here. That is a method of multiplying with the 10. If it is 100, this point will be here. Okay. Since it is 10, this point you can mark here. 1 position to the right side. That means 17.32 meter will be your answer. Okay, 17. So PQ is equal to 17.32 meter. So what this PQ represents? PQ is the distance between the point P and the building, isn't it? PQ is the distance between the point P and the building. So we can write in words. What? So distance between building and the point P is 17.32 meter. So we got the answer for PQ and we need RS. We are going to calculate that. And next we need the length of the flagstaff. No, next we need the length of the flagstaff. That means SR. SR belongs to the first right triangle or second right triangle. SR belongs to the second big right triangle, isn't it? So just consider that right triangle. This is a clue I can give you. Okay, since length of the flagstaff belongs to the second right triangle, let us start selecting second right triangle. So write the name. Consider the second right triangle. Consider the right triangle PQS now. PQS, bigger right triangle. In the right triangle PQS, which is the angle given? 30 or 40 degree. 30 degree in the 30 degree was in the smaller right triangle. 45 degrees belongs to this right triangle. See, you can see this is what is 45 degree. That angle is belongs to the bigger right triangle. So now we have to consider the 45 degree. According to 45 degree, what is given? നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിക്കേണ്ടത് ഇങ്ങനെയാണ്. ഈ 45 ഡിഗ്രീനെ അപേക്ഷിച്ച് എസ് ആർ നിൽക്കുന്നത് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഭാഗത്തല്ലേ. എസ് ആർ 45 ഡിഗ്രീൻ്റെ നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിക്കുന്നത് വളരെ ഷാർപ്പായിട്ട് ഇതിന് വളരെ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആണ് സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ. ഈ 45 ഡിഗ്രീന് ഇനി ഏത് റേഷ്യോയുടെ വേണമെന്ന് എങ്ങനെ ആലോചിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അതാണ് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ടത്. ആംഗിൾ കിട്ടി 45 ഡിഗ്രി. അപ്പോൾ ഏത് റേഷ്യോ വേണമെന്ന് ആലോചിക്കുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഇതാണ് 45 ഡിഗ്രി. അതിനെ അപേക്ഷിച്ച് എസ് ആർ നിൽക്കുന്നത് അതിൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡിലാണല്ലോ. 45 ഡിഗ്രീൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡാണ് എസ് ആർ എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം 45 ഡിഗ്രീൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡ് എന്താണ്? എസ് ക്യു ആണ്. ഏത് ട്രയാങ്കിളെ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് നിങ്ങൾ? PQS എന്ന് പറയുന്ന റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിളിൽ 45 ഡിഗ്രീൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് നിൽക്കുന്നത് എസ് ക്യു ആണ്, എസ് ആർ അല്ല. പക്ഷേ എങ്കിലും എസ് ആർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സൈഡ് എസ് ക്യുവിൻ്റെ ഒരു പോർഷൻ ആണല്ലോ. അതെ, അപ്പോൾ 45 ഡിഗ്രീനെ അപേക്ഷിച്ച് എസ് ആർ നിൽക്കുന്നത് അതിൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡിലാണ്. എന്താണ് നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ കയ്യിലുള്ളത്? കയ്യിൽ നമുക്ക് PQ ഇല്ലേ? We already calculated the value of PQ now 17.32. So this PQ is, we have this PQ as what? 17.32. Otherwise we can choose PQ as 10 root 3. Otherwise you can use this value, let me use this value 10 root 3. So we have PQ as what? 10 root 3. We have the value of PQ as, because we already calculated. ഇനി ആ ആംഗിളിനെ അപേക്ഷിച്ച് എസ് ആർ നിൽക്കുന്നത് അതിൻ്റെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡിലാണ്. അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡ് ഉണ്ട് താനും. അക്കോർഡിംഗ് ടു 45 degree, SR lies in the opposite side, and we have the adjacent side of 45 degree with us because we already calculated that. So which is the ratio connecting between that opposite and adjacent? ഓപ്പോസിറ്റിൻ്റെ ഭാഗത്തുള്ള കാര്യമാണ് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുണ്ട് താനും. അപ്പോൾ ഏത് റേഷ്യോ ആയിരിക്കും ഉപയോഗിക്കുക? tan. Okay, that means we can use here tan 45. I'm not going to explain it once again. You may understood it well. Okay, why this tan came, and tan 45 you can select. Okay, so what is tan 45? Opposite by adjacent, which is the opposite side of 45 degree? SQ. So SQ divided by, which is the side adjacent to 45 degree? This is 45 degree, so adjacent is what? PQ. And what is the value of tan 45 now? Tan 45, the value is 1. And what is SQ? We don't know what is SQ. What is PQ? PQ we have 10 root 3. Okay, just multiply this 1 into 10 root 3, become 10 root 3 is equal to what? SQ. So we, and see, 10 root 3 is equal to, what is SQ? See, can I write this SQ as, this is what is SQ, no? SQ, this is what is SQ, no? Can I write SQ as, can I split SQ as SR plus RQ, or can I write SQ as SR plus RQ? Why? Because SR plus RQ is nothing but SQ. So instead of SQ, I am going to write SR plus RQ. Why? Because I need SR. That's why I am going to make a splitting like that. So instead of SQ, I am going to write it as SR plus RQ. So you can write SQ as what? SR plus RQ. Okay. So it becomes 10 root 3 is equal to, SR is nothing but, we don't know the value of SR, we need that, and RQ, but still what is given? RQ is there, 10. RQ is there. What is that? 10. You can write here. So what is 10 root 3? So actually you can give that value. See, when you substitute here as 10 root 3, instead of that you can write 17.32, because we already calculated 10 root 3 as 17.32. ഞങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാത്തത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് കിട്ടുമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ടാണ്. കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. 17.32 itself you can substitute here. Instead of 10 root 3 you can write 17.32. because 10 root 3 we already calculated here, that's why. Okay, it's equal to SR plus 10. And what is SR? 17.32. Take this 10 to the left side, it become minus 10. So SR will be what is 17.32 minus 10? It is 7.32. The length of the flagstaff will be 7.32, and this is the method. Then here there is no possibility of doubt, but still some students may think that means those students, those who are trying their own method, they may think that I prefer that. You have to try for yourself. Okay, so they may think that why Shibin sir started with the triangle PQR, why he is not started with the triangle PQS, because I told you there exists two right triangle. Why Shibin sir started with the smaller right triangle, why he didn't started with the bigger right triangle. Okay, let me start selecting bigger right triangle. Suppose if you are selecting bigger right triangle PQS, you may apply what? Tan 45 directly, isn't it? Why? Because in the bigger triangle the angle is tan 45. At that time, according to 45 degree, opposite side is SQ and adjacent side is PQ. So SQ by PQ. You know what is SQ? We don't know what is SQ, because RQ we know, but we don't know SQ. You know what is PQ? PQ നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴാണ് കിട്ടിയത്? When we started with the smaller right triangle, at that time we got PQ. But if you are going to start with the bigger right triangle, at that time we don't have PQ with me. So two unknowns came, no? So can you start with the bigger right triangle? No. So that doubt also finished now. So you have to learn in such a way that there is no doubt, there is no confusion in this problem. There is the only one way of solving. There may exist different ways, but still I can say that there is no role of confusion in this. I think it is very clear. So before going to discuss the example 5, let me discuss few concepts, that is related to sun's altitude. Sun's altitude. See, this is sun. Okay, there is a term sun's altitude. I'm going to explain that. What is the meaning of altitude of sun? That means, sun's altitude is nothing but, you just consider a point P here. Let it be an observer. I'm not going to mention the height of the observer is negligible. Suppose the height of the observer is negligible when we consider the sun, or if you are considering a tower here, let it be something like that. This height of the observer is negligible anyway. Okay, he is very short man, so the height of the observer is negligible. And he is, this is at that time the ground itself is going to be the horizontal level, because the height of the negligible and height of the observer is negligible. At that time he can see the sun through this line of sight, and this angle of elevation, suppose it is 30 degree. So this is going to be the sun's altitude at that time. You may understand it now. This is nothing but sun's altitude if he is going to see the sun from the point P. That is 30 degree, because which angle elevation he used to focus the sun from a fixed point, that angle of elevation is known as sun's altitude. I repeat, which angle of elevation he used to focus the sun, that angle of elevation from that fixed point is known as sun's altitude. Suppose after that he shifted his position from P to Q. Let it be somewhere here. So sun is not moving anywhere. His position is fixed. And from the same person, he shifted from P to Q. Okay. Same person, now he need a line of sight like this to focus the sun, because he is, and right now he is here. So in order to focus the sun, he need this line of sight. No, if he is focusing sun from the point Q, this is going to be the line of sight. At that time, what will be angle of elevation? It will decrease or it will increase? Of course it will increase. When he move closer to sun, he need more and more angle of elevation, and now it will be approximately some 60 degree, and this is going to be sun's altitude right now from the point Q. If he is going to move closer to sun, again the angle of elevation will increase. See, Angle, anyway, angle of elevation is nothing but the angle between the line of sight and ground, no? So it will increase. Why? Because the sun is not moving, but position of the observer is coming closer to the sun. Of course, the angle of elevation will increase. Okay. And this is going to be the sun's altitude. Okay. And let me explain one more concept. Okay. And you can express this as this the case in your notebook. So you can draw this figure and you can write here, if the observer is at the point P, this is going to be the angle of elevation. Sorry, this is going to be the sun's altitude. This is all we know that this is the angle elevation, but in this case it can be also known as sun's altitude also. 30 degrees known as sun's altitude if the observer is at P and now he is at Q. At that time 60 degrees is going to be the sun's altitude. In that way you can write notes. And this is your sun in the second case. This is your first case and this is the second case. Sun is there, he's smiling. Let him laugh sometimes, isn't it? And suppose there is a tower and this is the sun. Now the place of the sun is here. Okay. And according to the rotation of the earth, the position of the sun will change according to your position. Let it be. We are not going to think much about such things, and let it be a tower. Its height is much. It is very, very lengthy tower, and let the sun's position here. Of course, sun ray will incident here anyway, and in that way a shadow will form, isn't it? Because the position of the sun is here. So anyway, suppose it is evening time. First year the sun was here, then here at the noon time it was here, and now it is here. Okay. So now the shadow will be formed. Where shadow can be formed? Here it is not possible. Here shadow will form. Why? Because the ray is incident inside this tower. This is your ray. It touches the tower in this way, and there will form a shadow. How you can identify that? How you can mark the length of the shadow? See, this is the incident ray. So at that time you can make that incident ray little longer, or you can produce that incident ray by using dotted line in this way. And this is going to be the length of the tower. Now once again, this is your tower, this is the sun, and of course here in this side there will form a shadow of this tower. How we can mark the shadow? This is the way. This is the incident ray. It will touch the tower at the top. So incident ray will stop here, but at that time you can produce the incident ray, because I need to draw the shadow now. So at that time you can produce the incident ray like this. You may understood. And just from here, this is the base of the tower, and from here to the end point of that incident ray, you just draw a line, and this is going to be the length of the shadow. This is going to be the shadow of this tower, and this is this is the way to draw the shadow. At that time, this angle is known as, this angle also known as sun's altitude. If this angle came to be some 30 degree, this 30 degree is known as sun's altitude. That is, this is in terms of shadow, and this is in terms of some other thing. And an observer is standing here, and this is the line of sight. This is X case, and this is another case. In both case, this angle is known as sun's altitude. This is in terms of an observer and his line of sight. This is in terms of shadow. This is going to be the sun's altitude. Are you following me? Okay. In this case, this angle is known as sun's altitude. That much only. So now you may understood the concept of sun's altitude. So just write that concept well and try to understand the concept, and only after that we can move to example 5. So you have to learn that sun's altitude properly. What is the meaning of that? What is the concept of sun's altitude? Then let me go to example 5. It's very simple question, but it is little bit difficult to draw the figure. Okay, after drawing the figure, it is very simple. Those who understood example 4, the remaining question is going to be very simple for them. And example 5. Read that. The shadow of a tower standing on a level ground is found to be 40 meter longer when sun's altitude is 30 degree than when it is 60 degree. Find the height of the tower. Confused, no? By reading a question like this, you may get confused. I also feeling confusion. Read twice. A shadow of a tower standing on a level ground. So, take your pen very carefully and touch on your mobile screen for better clarity. Okay, and focus the page and draw a ground. So, I'm going to simplify the question. I'm going to explain how this question can be simplified. Okay, this is going to be the ground. Okay, you may understood. Why? Because I have drawn a ground, because I have to draw a tower, so a ground should be there, no? A base should be there, no? And let it be, this is your tower. This is your tower. And in the question, it is discussing about shadow length, isn't it? The shadow of a tower. So tower we have drawn, we need to draw shadow. So shadows are given. In two different cases shadows are given. Which all are the cases? When sun's altitude is stated, we will come to this sentence later, is found to be 40 meter longer. So that sentence, let it be there itself, let it be, we will come to there. So I am explaining how a question can be simplified. It's the shadow of a tower standing on the level ground. So we have drawn a level ground and tower also drawn. Then we have to draw what? Shadow. When sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree, when sun's altitude is 30 degree, we have to draw a shadow. Then when sun's altitude is 60 degree also, we have to draw a shadow. And the length of the shadow comparison is given here. Once again, let me explain the question. So we have drawn what? Ground, then tower. Then we need to draw shadows. When sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree, we have to draw two shadows. When angle is 30 degree, when sun's altitude is 30 degree, there must exist one shadow. When sun's altitude is 60 degree, then also there will exist one more shadow. Then the length of the shadow comparison is given. See, 40 meter long and all. Let it be there. So anyway, I have to draw this shadow of this tower when the angle is 80 degree, when the angle is 60 degree. Let me tell you one thing, I am repeating the same sentence again. I will repeat in that way because I have to take care of each individual. That's why I am explaining the simple, very simple thing again and again. So don't feel that why Shibin sir is explaining again and again, he is spoiling time. If you feel like that, no, I don't know what I have to say. I have to take care of each individual, no? Okay. So this is the shadow. Then this is the tower. Let me draw shadow when the angle is 30 degree and when the angle is 60 degree, because it is given that when sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree. So the meaning of the question is, suppose sun is here now. Let it be sun here now. This is the position of the sun. The position will change. When hours passes, the position of the sun also will change. At the morning time it was here, at the noon time it was here, now it is going to be the evening time, and let it be sun here first. And now can you draw a shadow now? If the sun is here, this will be the incident ray, then you can produce that, and from here to here it will be the first shadow length. So let it be, I am not going to mark the angle. Anyway, how many angles are there? Sun's altitude is nothing but angle of elevation, no? I already explained that sun's altitude is nothing but angle of elevation. That's why I explained the concept first. Sun's altitude is nothing but angle of elevation. How many angle of elevation is there? 30 degree and 60 degree. Which I can mark here, 30 degree or 60 degree. That type of a confusion exists. Which we need to mark here, 30 degree or 60 degree. Let it be there. If you feel any confusion, let it be there. Okay. And this is the first shadow. I'm not going to mark the angle. Anyway, I have two angles with me, that is 30 degree and 60 degree. Let it be there itself. I'm not going to mark here. So how we can mark, I will explain you. And after some time, the sun's position will change. Let it be here. Okay. And now, what will be the shadow? This is going to be the incident ray. And when you produce, see, this is going to be the shadow at that time. Anyway, shadow should start from the base of the tower, no? So this is the first case shadow and this is the second case shadow. Anyway, I told you have to start drawing shadow from the base of the tower. So this is the first shadow and this is going to be the second shadow. And now it is a time to mark sun's altitude. Sun's altitude is nothing but this angle. I already explained in the previous question. Which you can mark here, out of 30 and 60. It will be 30 degree, it will be 60 degree. I told you, no? From the figure also it is clear. It is lesser angle, it is a little more bigger angle. So it is going to be 30 degree and it is going to be 60 degree. And when the sun's altitude is 30 degree, this is the shadow. When sun's altitude is 60 degree, this is the shadow. Now you may understood question well. And this is the limit. That means I have a limit and this is my limit. And in this way only I know how to explain this question. Let me explain once again. This is the length of, this is a tower. This is a tower. Its length is not given in the question. And in the question it is given that it is in the question they used to compare the length of the shadow when sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree. When sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree. See. So in order to get an idea about the shadow when sun's altitude is 30 degree and 60 degree, you have to think that suppose the sun's position is here at first. And now you just try to draw a shadow. So in this way, this is the incident ray. In this way you produce that ray by using dotted lines. And this is going to be the shadow. I'm not going to mark the angle right now. And suppose the sun's position is after some time it may change. And now the shadow length is this one. Okay, so we got two shadows. Then it is a time to mark the angles. We have two angles in the question, 30 degree and 60 degree. Where we can mark 30 degree? Sure, because when we compare both angles, it is going to be the small angle, it is going to be the bigger angle. So it will be 30 and it will be 60. So now the question is very clear. And this is the length of the shadow when the sun's altitude is 60 degree. And this is the length of the shadow when sun's altitude is 30 degree. And now we just read the question. So endano question, adine itrayum veliyoru sambhavam ningal vicharichu itrayum veliya sambhavana question. അവർ വളരെ സിമ്പിളായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു. എന്താ പറഞ്ഞത്? സണ്ണിൻ്റെ രണ്ട് സമയത്തുള്ള ഷാഡോ ഉണ്ട്. 30 ഡിഗ്രി ആൾട്ടിറ്റ്യൂഡും 60 ഡിഗ്രി ആൾട്ടിറ്റ്യൂഡും ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഷാഡോ ഉണ്ട്. അത് തമ്മിലുള്ള കമ്പാരിസൺ അവർ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്താണ്? ഒന്നിനേക്കാൾ 40 മീറ്റർ കൂടുതലാണ് ഷാഡോ ലെങ്ത് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഒറ്റ വായിക്കുമ്പോൾ എവിടെയാണ് സൺസ് ആൾട്ടിറ്റ്യൂഡ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ സംശയം വരും. പിന്നെ അതിനാണ് ഞാൻ സൺസ് ആൾട്ടിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഐ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ഇൻ ദ just before this question we had an explanation, isn't it? What do you mean by sun's altitude and all. That's why I explained that concept first. So by using that concept we are drawing shadow in this way. അപ്പം എപ്പോഴൊക്കെയാണ് ഷാഡോ വരയ്ക്കേണ്ടത്? ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിൽ നിന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കാം 30 ഡിഗ്രി ആകുമ്പോഴും 60 ഡിഗ്രി ആകുമ്പോഴും. അപ്പോൾ 30 ഡിഗ്രി ആകുമ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് വരച്ച് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഇല്ല. ഷാഡോ എവിടെ നിന്നാണ് വരയ്ക്കുന്നത്? ആദ്യം സൂര്യൻ വരച്ച് അതിൻ്റെ ഇൻസിഡൻറ്റ് റേ വരച്ചിട്ട് അതിനെ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഷാഡോ മാർക്ക് ചെയ്ത് എന്നിട്ട് മാത്രമേ ആംഗിൾ മാർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഷാഡോ വരച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് പൊസിഷൻ സണ്ണിൻ്റെ മാറുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് എനിക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് മനസ്സിലായത്? ആദ്യം ഇവിടെയാണ്, അപ്പോൾ ഇനി ഇവിടെയാണെന്നൊക്കെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് മനസ്സിലായത്? 2 ആംഗിൾ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി ആദ്യത്തതിന് ഒരാംഗിളും അടുത്തതിന് അടുത്ത ആംഗിളും വരച്ചു. എന്നിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ വലിപ്പ വ്യത്യാസം അനുസരിച്ച് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. യു മേ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്. ഓക്കെ. Now, and let me read the question now. See, the shadow of a tower standing on a level ground is found to be 40 meter longer when the sun's altitude is 30 degree than when it is 60 degree. That means that when sun's angle is 30 degree, the length of the shadow is 40 meter longer than when the sun's altitude is 60 degree. It means that when sun's altitude is 60 degree, this is the shadow. When sun's angle is 30 degree, this is the shadow. So when sun's altitude is 30 degree, this is the length of the shadow. That is 40 meter more than the shadow length when sun's altitude is 60 degree. Once again repeating the question, it is directly saying that the length of the shadow when sun's altitude is 30 degree is 40 meter more than the length of the shadow when sun's altitude is 60 degree. That means in short, this is 40 meter. This is the shadow when sun's altitude is 30 degree. This is the shadow when sun's altitude is 60 degree. So in the question it is given that this is 40 meter more than this. Suppose this is some x. This is going to be what? 40 meter more than x. That means x plus 40. This is x and this is x plus 40. That is given in the question, you may understood. Okay. And we have to find out the height of the tower. Okay. How many right triangles you can see here? How many right triangles are there? This is the, let it be A, B, C. A, B, C is going to be the first right triangle, and let it be C, B, C. ABC is the smaller right triangle you can identify, and CBC is the bigger right triangle you can identify. Apply ratios on both right triangle. That is only one thing we can do. But select the right triangles involved in the figure, apply ratio. Let me start from the smaller one. So consider right triangle ABC. In that right triangle, this is the angle given 60 degree. In that right triangle, this is the angle given 60 degree. According to 60 degree, what we need length of the tower. That means according to 60 degree, this is going to be the opposite side. And adjacent side is not given, but adjacent side we have taken as x. But let me explain in Malayalam for better clarity, because in order to explain it in English, I feel difficulty. So that, let me explain in Malayalam. This is the angle 60 degree. 60 degree സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം നമുക്ക് എന്താണ് വേണ്ടത്? നമുക്ക് ടവറിൻ്റെ ലെങ്ത് വേണം ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അനുസരിച്ച്. അപ്പോൾ 16 അപേക്ഷിച്ച് ഇത് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് അവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. പിന്നെ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല. പക്ഷേ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡിനെ പറ്റി ഒരു ക്ലൂ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്താണ് ക്ലൂ? ഇതിനേക്കാളും 40 മീറ്റർ കൂടുതലാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡിനെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തത് എന്തോ ഒരു വിവരം നമുക്കുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റിനെയും അഡ്ജസൻറ്റിനെയും ഞാനിവിടെ റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നു. കാരണം എന്താണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റാണ് എനിക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ടത്. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് വേണം. അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡ്, ഈ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡും ഇതിൻ്റെ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡും ഈ വലിയ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിളിൽ ഈ സൈഡ് തമ്മിലുള്ള കാരണം ഇതാണല്ലോ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റ് സൈഡ് ഈ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിളിൽ, അതും വലിയ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിളിലുള്ള ഈ സൈഡും തമ്മിലുള്ള കണക്ഷനാണ് തന്നേക്കുന്നത്. കാരണം ഇത് എക്സ് ആണ്, ഇത് എക്സ് പ്ലസ് 40. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ചുരുക്കം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റും അഡ്ജസൻറ്റും തമ്മിലും ഞാൻ ബന്ധിപ്പിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നു. കാരണം എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റും ഹൈപ്പോട്ടനിസും തമ്മിൽ ബന്ധിപ്പിക്കാത്തത്? കാരണം ഈ ഹൈപ്പോട്ടനിസും ഇവിടുത്തെ ഹൈപ്പോട്ടനിസും തമ്മിൽ ഒരു കണക്ഷൻ നമുക്കറിയില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഈ ഇവിടുത്തെ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റും ഈ റൈറ്റ് ട്രയാങ്കിൾ ഈ 13ൻ്റെ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റും തമ്മിലൊരു കണക്ഷൻ നമുക്കറിയാം. എന്ത്? ഇത് എക്സ് ആണ്, ഇത് എക്സ് പ്ലസ് 40 ആണെന്ന് അറിയാം. അപ്പം അതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രം ഐ എം ഗോയിങ് ടു യൂസ് ടാൻ ഹിയർ, ബിക്കോസ് once again repeating, according to 60 degree, the opposite side which we have to calculate. So we need opposite side, and there exists a relationship between the adjacent side of both right triangle. So for time being, let me use tan here. You will get understood in the very next step why I used tan. So if I'm going to use tan in this right triangle, so let me use tan 60 here. So what is tan 60? Tan 60 is nothing but opposite by adjacent. So this is angle 60, opposite is nothing but CB, and adjacent is nothing but AB. So CB by AB. So tan 60 value √3. √3 is equal to, what is CB? CB I don't know, let it be there. And what is AB? AB we have marked it as X. So before that I forgot to say one thing. Before that you have to write all the things in sentence. Let AC, what all the things you have to write? Let BC represents the height of the tower. Let AB represents the length of the shadow when the angle is 60 degree. Let CB represents, you have to write all these things. Let CB represents the length of the shadow when angle is 30 degree. You have to write all those things. Are you following me? Then what we can say, let AB as X and CB as X plus 40. You can write like that. Okay. So now it becomes √3 is equal to CB by X. You may understood. Okay. And now you just take this X to left side. It becomes √3X is equal to CB. No? √3X is equal to CB. Let it be your first equation. Let it be this is the maximum we can do in this problem. Sorry, this is the maximum we can do in this case. Because we don't know what is CB, we don't know what is X, 2 unknown came. So let it be there. This is the maximum we can do here. There is no other option. So let it be there. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. This right triangle ഞാൻ ടാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കാനുള്ള കാരണം 16 അപേക്ഷിച്ച് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് സൈഡ് എനിക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം. 16 അപേക്ഷിച്ച് അഡ്ജസൻ്റ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ എക്സിന് എടുത്തേക്കുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെയെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾ വിചാരിക്കുക, അഡ്ജസൻ്റ് നമ്മൾ എക്സിന് എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം, അഡ്ജസൻ്റ് നമ്മൾ എക്സ് എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റിനെ അഡ്ജസൻറ്റിനെ നമ്മൾ ഏത് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യും? ടാൻ. സൈൻ എടുത്തിട്ടൊന്നും ഒരു കാര്യമില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ടാൻ എടുത്തത്. ഐ ടോൾഡ് യു ഇൻ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രോബ്ലം വി വിൽ അപ്ലൈ ടാൻ. ഓക്കെ. And let me, from the right triangle we have reached this much. Now it is the time to take the next right triangle CBC. CB, oh this is also C, no? So let it be C itself, let it be some D. Now I am going to consider the right triangle DBC. Let me take the right triangle DBC, the bigger right triangle. In DBC, this is the angle given as So in this right triangle, this is the angle 30 degree. In this right triangle, which is the right triangle DBC, in this right triangle, this is the only one angle given as 30 degree. According to 30 degree, we need anyway opposite side. According to 30 degree, still we need opposite side, which is, see, your right triangle is DBC. So according to 30 degree, which is the opposite side of the right triangle? CB. That we need anyway, because we need height of the tower. And the adjacent side is given as what? Not given, but we have taken it as x plus 40. So how you can relate this opposite side? Opposite side we need. So how you can relate this opposite side and adjacent side? Because we have taken it as x plus 40 by the ratio tan again. So apply tan 30 is equal to opposite side. So opposite side is nothing but CB, opposite side, and the adjacent side is nothing but we have taken it as what? X plus 40. Why? Because according to 30 degree, this is opposite side. According to 30 degree, this is going to be the adjacent. See, this one is adjacent. You can understand, no? Don't think that this is adjacent side. Why? Because we are considering the right triangle DBC. This is going to be the right triangle. So this is the angle. This is going to be the opposite side. This is going to be the adjacent side. You can identify, no? Okay. So now we just see what is the value of tan 30. 1 by root 3 is equal to CB by x plus 40. Now we can cross multiply. What is 1 into x plus 40? X plus 40. What is root 3 into CB? Root 3 CB. Okay. Now x plus 40 is equal to root 3 as it is into what is CB? From the first equation CB we got what? Root 3x. First equation says that CB is equal to root 3x. So instead of this CB from the first equation, we can replace it as root 3x. Okay. So what we did from the first equation, CB is nothing but what? Root 3x. Okay. Now we just see it become x plus 40 is equal to what is root 3 into root 3x? Root 3 into root 3 is 3x. Okay. You understood? Okay. Then 40 we just maintain in the left side. 3x is there. Take this x to right side. It becomes 3x minus x. That is nothing but 2x. If 2x is equal to 40, what will be x? 40 by 2 is nothing but what? 20. You can understand, no? So 2x is equal to 40 means that x is equal to 40 by 2. That is nothing but 20. So we got the value of x as 20 meter. We got the value of x as 20 meter. So let it be there. Anyway, we got the value of x as 20 meter. But we need what? CB. We got the value of x. So it is a time to calculate CB. See, then what will be CB? What was CB? From the first equation, CB is nothing but root 3x. From the first equation we have CB is nothing but root 3x. Let us use that equation, root 3x. And now we got the value of x as what? 20. So root 3 into 20. That means 20 root 3 meter. Since in the question the value of root 3 is not given, we can conclude here CB is nothing but 20 root 3 meter, and CB is going to be the height of the tower. So in short, height of the tower is 20 root 3 meter. Okay, so what are the things we discussed? See, we got the correct answer according as in the textbook. Therefore the height of the tower is 20 root 3 meter. So we got the correct answer, 20 root 3 meter. When you see the textbook answer, you may think that, see, Shibin's in the textbook only half page is there, but Shibin's are used more than 2 A4 pages. Oh, how it is like that? In the textbook they have cut short everything. I also know how to write in this way, but in that step in here we expanded everything. Okay, and see, there is only one difference. And what I did I read the question twice, and I understood that there is two sun's altitude is 80 degree and 60 degree, and we have to draw the shadow also, because in the question they have compared between the shadow length. So in that way I have to draw the shadow. In order to draw the shadow, I cannot start drawing from here. I have to start from here. In that way I have drawn the shadows. According to that, I have marked the sun's altitude in this way. Then I marked the shadow. First I marked as x, then I marked as x plus 40. Why? Because in the second case shadow is 40 meter more than the first case shadow. Okay, in that way I marked everything. And and in that way we found two right triangles are there, then we selected two right triangles and apply ratio in both right triangles separately, and here I used tan. You may understood the reason, and in that way I got the first expression. Here this is the maximum we can do because two unknowns came. Then try to select the next right triangle. In that way you will reach here, and here you can do a substitution from the first equation. In that way you solved. See, so it is almost 1 hour now, this video length, and still let me tell you one thing. I know that I repeated the same thing, simple thing again and again. So for above average students, I'm not categorizing the students as above and below, but still for some smart child they may think that he's repeating the same thing and it is boring, but you know the reason why I am doing so. So in that way it reached to almost 1 hour. So it is the time to end this video. Thank you, have a nice day. Please learn the question well, because I have used much amount of energy to explain very simple two question. I'm using this energy for you. Please try to understand that. Please learn, at least for me. Try to accept, try to learn this concept, because this is very 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 important concept. Please learn. So have a nice day. Thank you.